Hi friends, this is Becky Lewis in Central Indiana, and today I wanted to talk about H.O.K.M tea. H-O-K-M. H.O.K.M. Heaven only knows, Managere. So what this is, and in this bag, and I just pulled some out so you can basically get an idea of some of the larger pieces that are still whole enough for me to maybe talk about, but as you can see down in that bag, I've got them pretty well macerated, which is what I do is I put a bunch of the plants ground up, and this is a whole big mixture, and I put them in and make what I call H.O.K.M tea, or reconstituted green drink. So I don't use hot water. I just use not cold, but just room temperature distilled water. And I put it in a jar, usually one bigger than this. I don't have a bigger jar right now because I have them all in use right now. But anyway, I just wanted to show you a little example. What happens is when I'm doing foraging, I'll lay some plants out that I just got done picking, and I lay them out to dry, but dang it, I just don't get back to it to get it taken care of. So they kind of dry together, and then I do the same thing, and I'll sometimes even lay some wet plants, or not wet, but fresh plants on top of dried ones in the pile, because I only have so much room, and it ends up that they just dry together. And what this is an amazing kick. And so to do a reconstituted green drink, then I just chop a whole bunch of that up and then put it in the grinder and grind it down really fine as I can, and then put that in the jar with the distilled water, and that ends up pulling out the nutrients. So then it all gets back in the water, and then you strain the plants and have you a green drink, even in the wintertime when you can't get greens. And I can tell you, it's a real lifesaver. But you can also make a hot tea out of it. So I just want to give a quick example of some of the things in here while I can still tell what they are. So this is a piece of horsetail, which usually comes in much longer reeds, or what's a grass type too. So this is loaded with silica, and we don't really get silica in our diets the way that we should anymore, friends. And that's just one of the ways that you can get a good load of silica. I've got clover flower, red clover flower, which is falling apart because it's nice and dry. Let's see here. That was a dandelion leaf, which I have several dandelion leaves and several clover flowers. I have dandelion flower in here. Here's a little bit bigger piece of the horsetail. Do you see how the black stuff is in between each of those sections? That is pure silica, friends, and we need that so bad for so numerous reasons I can't possibly begin to name them. But these are all sections that come apart, and you can actually use these as a float. If you're out fishing and you don't have a float, you can break those sections apart and they do float. But it's pretty dry because it's been in the bag, but they're still extremely, extremely good. And besides that, silica doesn't go bad. It's a mineral. Okay, so we also have that looks like it was clover leaf. Trying to fix that here. Yep, it was clover leaf. And also I have in here a little bit of mugwort, which for any of you who don't know about mugwort, and it does grow in the wild, I can't really give you that much of an explanation right now because of just the timing on the video. But mugwort is also known as a dream herb, and it's really good for all kinds of, I'm just crushing it so I can smell it because she's a friend. Oh my goodness. Friends, I gotta tell you, when you go out foraging, I'm telling you, it doesn't even need to have pollen. You can sneeze or start coughing or any of that. It's because the plants themselves are giving off molecular bits, and that gets in you and on you, and it affects affects you. So the difference between this kind of stuff and what you would get in the store is so tremendous that that's another whole video talking about how these plants are so powerful when they're in the wild, friends. When they're in the wild and you pick them out of the wild, they've been growing in wherever they wanted to grow and doing it just fine without anybody's help or watering or any of that. And these plants are so powerful that they'll bring you back literally from near death. Oh, look, here's a root. Here's a root on, I think that was a young, pretty sure that was young goldenrod. Yep, goldenrod. And goldenrod roots grow basically like a rhizome. So let's see, what else have we got here. Oh, here's what's left of a mulberry leaf. Oh, trying to blow away. Mulberry leaves are so nutritious and unbelievably powerful, friends. They will just pick you up and carry you away. Now this leaf, I can tell just by picking it up. It's got kind of a sandy feeling to it. Those are echinacea. That's an echinacea leaf, purple coneflower. I have a whole row of them growing up front. And here we go. Here's some plantain. Nope, this is another, no, yeah, it is. It's plantain. I've just got 2 or 3 of them together. Yeah, those are plantain. Another amazing, incredible plant. Will literally save your life if you get bit by a snake or stung or something like that. That stuff is amazing. Here's some more. Here's some more clover. I think I saw some whiskers. Yep, I did. This is so tiny that you probably can't see it. It's got fine little whiskery hairs on there that would be sort of thorny when they get really big and dry. And that is a plant that people boil down and make pain medicine out of. That's wild lettuce. Wild lettuce. Later, friends, I'll go and show you these plants in the wild when they're fresh now and give you a better idea. There's some more plantain. So this is older a little bit, but I found the bag of it and I didn't want to waste it. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of really good stuff in here. So I'm going to make green drinks out of it and tea. And there's a lot more plants in there, friends. Oh, look, there's some yarrow. There's some yarrow. Yep, I have yarrow growing in my yard. So, wow. Some of these might be docked too. Well, friends, I'll do another video on the plants that I'm putting in the tea and or using as a reconstituted green drink instead of making an herbal tea out of it. So I just wanted to share that with you because this kind of stuff is what actually saved my life when I was literally at death's door. And that is no joke, friends. I was almost gone. And this stuff saved my life and got me on my feet literally in 3 days, even though I was using a cane. Anyway, what this was, you see that white back stuff? That is the black raspberry leaf. And there's other ones too. Blackberry leaves and other leaves have that white to silvery look on the back of it. That's another whole video all by itself too, and the nutrition in those. But any of the leaves of these berry plants are so incredible that they're actually, in the end, they're actually better for you than the fruit itself. But not when the fruit is collected into a lot more fruits and you need those particular things. Berries are something totally different. They are just so high in antioxidants and all kinds of good stuff. So, but I'm going to make this a little bit shorter than I'd like to. I could just carry on about these plants, friends, but I will get into the actual fresh ones when I go out and pick them. And then collect a bunch of them up and give you an example there, or just do a foraging video while I walk and show you what I'm picking. All right, well, friends, I'm gonna work my way back because I got away from my stuff. I got away from my stuff and let the stuff of the world and the surroundings and the inappropriate I really probably shouldn't say, but you know, friends, a lot of us put up with a lot more than we should. A lot more. Look at right next to me in the grass. Look at that. I've got all kinds of cute little things growing there, so pretty, and people want to kill all that, and they call them weeds. They talk you into going out and getting poison that poisons your yard and all the little critters, and it kills what the bees need when they first start. When winter's over, the first thing that comes up, all these little flowers, is what the bees need, because all the other flowers aren't here yet. And so what happens? People kill them. I want to show you before I close this out, though. Look over here that I've brought back over time. I've got some fencing ready to set up to block this off, because it needs it before people start stepping on it. We've got people coming and going here helping us clean the yard up. But anyway, so look here. I've got baby bee balm, if you want to call it. It's the bee balm, wild bee balm. That's purple kind. And right next to that is Virginia Mountain Mint. So I've got that over here too, larger one, the Virginia Mountain Mint. And then there's a whole bunch of those little baby bee balms coming up, and I'll be fencing this off and letting them up naturally. They're all the way over here. So, but anyway, friends, these wild plants, even if you can just get some of them from the wild and bring them back to your house. I live in a woodsy area, so I have my CLM in the ground, and we do get mushrooms growing up through here and all kinds of stuff. But that's another matter. That's another matter for another video. All right, friends. Well, I love you, and I'm working my way back. So look out. Here she comes. Much love. Bye for now.